Hi there guys, and welcome back to this week's video. Now, I haven't been here for about a week and a half. I've been on holiday with my friends, just enjoying some time away from work. Now, my plan today was to go down the allotment and I wanted to get some of the beds cleared, and I have straw for my strawberry patch that I wanted to put down. Now, the weather is not allowing me to do that. It is absolutely chucking it down out there. So the plan today was, I just wanted to brainstorm my two plots. I wanted to get them laid out on paper. I wanted to fit in all the structures and trees, you know, the pond, the polytunnel, lay that out onto two A4 pieces of paper and use that as a template for next year. Now, I was thinking about getting these laminated so I can just reuse them every year. Now, I know the layout may change in the future, but for now I'm happy with how they are, at least for next year. So I have some sticky labels, and these will just be used to write on certain vegetables, certain flowers, and I can move it around both plots to see where I want to grow them. It's also easy to remove or layer up for crops that are going to be planted after certain crops have finished. You know, the potatoes, this year I used my potato bed as my squash bed when they died. So yeah, I thought this would be a really good idea, and I did see someone else do this, so I won't take the credit for that. But yeah, I just want to get plot A, plot B onto a bit of paper, laid out, trees put in, shed, polytunnel, things like that, get them coloured in, and then go from there. So yeah, I'll get started. Yeah, so as you can see, I've just done a really basic line drawing of plot A, plot B. I've laid out the beds where they are now. Obviously this isn't to scale, this is just for my reference. I've placed the beds, I've put the pond, the polytunnel, the compost bins, you know, the structures that are going to remain where they are, like the shed. These beds on my first plot will remain where they are. They are fixed and they're not going to move, whereas the pallet collars, they can be moved as often as I like. So yeah, so for now I'm going to draw on the trees, the fruit bushes to where I know they are, you know, things like the comfrey around the pond and in the smaller bed. And then yeah, we can start thinking about where to place all the vegetables, the fruit. You know, I've got some flowers I want to put across the back. I do have my grape that will climb down a trellis here, and obviously here I already have my smaller pear trees which I want to espalier across. Obviously they're too small to do that now, but over the next few years I can start to build the framework for that anyway. You know, my bench, compost bin, things like that. So yeah, for now I'm gonna draw in the trees, draw in the fruit bushes, and then we can go from there. So this is where I'm at. So I have the trees, the the several fruit bushes that I have. I've labelled the pond polytunnel, compost bin, shed, just very basic, very easy. I've planned out where my mint is and my raspberries. I also have raspberries here and here, and this is I believe a white currant. Now I'm not going to label these because that's just for me, but yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's what I've done. So now I think it's just a case of me looking at what seeds I have. As you can see, there's quite a lot, and yeah, go from there. I have a bit of a problem with collecting seeds. Now, over the past few months, I've just been collecting some of the things that I want to grow next year, some repeats, some, just some really odd things that I want to try. Now, these are amazing. I got this from Amazon. I think it was about £20. It comes with, little cassettes which you can label up. Now I've labeled all of mine different things. Now I've got poppies, tomatoes, sunflowers, beetroots, courgettes, pumpkins, sweet corn, herbs, just a mix. And then I also have this case, which is where I put my collected seeds from flowers that I've grew myself. I also have seeds from some vegetables that I've grew myself. Now, I don't know how long they would last in these jars, but I did grow a few this year from using these, and they all grew pretty well. Yeah, this is a good bit of equipment to have, I think, a good bit of kit. So yeah, so this is just a case of opening, whichever one you choose. Obviously this one is for courgettes. Now I have one, I believe. Poppies, still poppies. So yeah, you literally just open them up. And as you can see, I do have quite a few poppies in there. And I recently got this new one. Again, that was going there. And end of the year, or possibly in January, I usually get these out and I write them into lists of months, when to sow, when not to sow, things like that. So yeah, things like flowers. Again, I am a hoarder when it comes to different types of flowers. A lot of these I've already grew this year. And like I said, this year I wanted to grow a few more types of cosmos. So I've gone for several different types to grow this year. Some of the more classic looking ones, some that are a bit different. Yeah, so they'll all go into this one. Along with these, I thought these were quite nice. So yeah, again, inside the tub, clip it over, put it in there. Now I would just do this for all of my seeds. Obviously tomatoes, this one I thought looked quite nice this year, the honeycomb one, and then just a normal kind of like a cherry tomato one. I think that's quite a good grower. I had this one last year. Now cucamelons are my favorite. And I do have more types of cucumbers, so I just need to find cucumbers and melons. There it is. Again, cucumbers is something that I will be growing quite a lot of next year. I do have quite a few different types, and then obviously I have my melons in here as well. So These will go in here, ready for then. Yeah, I think within my pumpkin one is where I put all my squashes. Now I did have a couple of new ones this year to add to my collection, and as well I've got quite a lot of pumpkins to try this year. Obviously I won't do them all. I'll probably do one of each if I have no space, and possibly give them to family and friends, you know, to try in their plots. That way I can still see them grow and enjoy them. Now this one's getting pretty full. So yeah, so allotment flowers again. I plan on doing quite a lot of flowers next year. A lot of these I've already done, I've already grown in my home garden. But yeah, I do have a lot more to add to the collection. You know, a lot more cut flowers, ones I can bring home. But yeah, this one I thought was quite nice. Again, just a mass of flowers. But hopefully over the next year or two, I'll give them all a go, or at least some of them. And then the ones that I like, this one I liked, I can then do a short list and continue to grow them the year after. Now this one is something that I've looked at and I've wanted to grow for a while. The asparagus pea. Yeah, it just looks different, and I want to really focus on things next year that I can, you know, grow and enjoy and experiment with. Oops. Yeah, again, this is just my artichokes and some smaller root vegetables and things. But yeah, this is such a great way to store your seeds. Now you just carry it around. It's pretty big, and it stores a lot of seeds. Also stops the mice from getting to them, especially if you leave them out at the allotment. But yeah, simple way of storing your seeds. Label them up. Again, you can relabel them as you work through them. You can buy more cassettes, and I think you could buy like expansion packs for these. But again, it's just nice to have more in one place, all safe, dry, and away from the mice. Now I did just want to show you what I meant by using these little sticky notes. Now the plan is literally just to write whatever vegetable you want, like so, and then peel it off, and then you can stick it wherever you want. Now it's just an example for now, but you can do a few of these. So like carrots, potatoes, you know, your basic things first. Things you know you're going to grow, but for sure things that are going to need to go in the ground first. Yeah, so just like that. So yeah, so you can literally just stick them on, stick them off, move them around if you decide later on that's not where you want to put them. You can also layer them as well. So obviously this year I had potatoes in one bed, and then when they were harvested and died off, I then put my squash in that bed. So you could just pick a different colour and put that underneath it. I think obviously when your potatoes are done, you can peel the potato sticker off, and then underneath you will have your new squash sticker. Again, it's just about being organised and planning your allotment. Just makes it a bit easier, I think. Now I do find in my allotment that there's a lot of change throughout the year anyway. So you'll start off with a plan and later on decide that's not where you want something. Now this is normal. it's your allotment, it's your rules. You know, this is just a guide, and I find this helps me, especially this year at the beginning when I had my first plot ready and set up. You know, it was good for me to lay it out, visualize where I want to put things, you know, Google the size of plants that grow. So obviously I know I could only put pumpkins and squashes in some of the bigger beds, else they would just spread. Carrots and parsnips and things like that. And some of the smaller salady crops like your radish and your beetroots and stuff. You can fit them anywhere, between crops, around crops, you know. But yeah, so that's my layout done. Now I think I am going to laminate this. It just makes it easier for me to stick on and pull them off. And it saves me, you know, ripping the paper as well. But yeah, I think it's a really good idea to do visually, and you know, it keeps you organized, it keeps you on your feet, and yeah, I think it's a great way of using some of these colder days to just sit with a coffee and organize your plot.